Hey, y'all. All right. Trying to see how I can get this to hit the cards. Working with a new table here. I can just hold the cards up so you guys can see them. So, you guys buckle up. This energy is emotional. You guys probably will have some epiphany moments during this time. Right now, let's see, we're still in Libra moon energy. I'm going to start doing some moon energy readings. That's basically what I'm doing right now, except for it's the 6/6 portal reading because today is 6/6. But we're going to do earth, air, fire, and water. Grab those real quick so I can set those out. Water, earth, air, and fire. Set those up there so I can separate the cards. And then start the table is a little wiggly. Okay, thank you. All right. So I'm using the Moonology Oracle deck for overall energy for this 6/6 portal. Anything we need to be mindful of, pay attention to. Like I said, this because we're getting ready to head into Cancerian energy, because it coming upon their season, transitioning out of Gemini, but they still work together. Communication and emotion. So, like I said, a lot of you may have already gotten some downloads, some things that maybe you haven't faced, and I was going to say suppressed, maybe things that you've suppressed. Yeah, personally, that's what's been going on my side of the tracks. But bottom of the deck, we have lunar eclipse change, which, I did post earlier. My trumpet flowers have been blooming, and it seems that, hey, Cody, it seems like the flowers have been blooming, in perfect alignment and divine timing with what's been going on. With one being the new energy, but now the 5th and 6th flower bloom tonight within about 30 minutes of each other. Awesome. Glad to see you, Cody. But with the 5 and the 6 coming out together, both flowers blooming within 30 minutes of each other, I feel that is relevant in the sense that 5s represent change and 6s are about balance and, reciprocity, where we're being asked to look at our relationships within self and others. Are we balancing things out? Are we communicating in a way that is balancing within ourselves? Not too far. We don't want to go down into those lower chakras and communicate in a negative manner. We want to speak what we want to manifest. So we want to create things that are for our highest good and the highest good of all. So we really need to pay attention to that and be mindful about that, and especially during this time, because we're in new creation energy. With a 5, purging out, changing things, maybe changing our patterns or belief systems, because we're all on different timelines. But as far as like anyone that resonates with me on my timeline, Right now, there's just certain things that I was not aware of. Um, the signs were all around me, you pay attention to what is around you. What do you see every day in your 3D world? Um, are you seeing similar things pop up in your reality? Those are the things you need to pay attention to, because that is your higher self, and your guides are trying to let you know, hey, there's something here that you haven't quite looked at, something here that you haven't yet faced, or something you may be suppressing. It can be anything, but in my own personal experience on my timeline, um, it was just something that I had suppressed, and more of a denial. Yeah. Yeah, we're coming upon Cancer season. We're not too far away from Cancer season. But with this moon coming up on the 21st, I think is the full moon. Let me see. I think it's the 21st is the next moon, the next full moon. But yesterday was a shift. I could definitely feel the shift in the energy. And today was the big, like, epiphany moments. So if during this time you're feeling emotional, you just want to cry out of nowhere, any of those things, that's very normal and very natural. Allow yourself to do so, because we are in purge energy right now. We're releasing so that we can create the world that we want to live in. You manifest your reality. What you believe within, you create outside of yourself. We all know this. Well, some people do, but yeah. So just be mindful and pay attention to everything you have around you. Emotional. Yeah. You're not alone. You're not alone. So remember that. Okay. And even when we feel like we are alone, even if there's other people that we're not resonating with, always remember that we always have our guides, our higher self, our ancestors. We are never alone. Never. A lot of people, their gifts are opening up as well. You may have new gifts appearing, new things that pop up in your, like your specialties, what you're here to do in this life, what you're meant to be doing to help the collective consciousness. Throat chakra. That stuff will be coming up during this time too. So allow. That's right now. We just have to be as open as possible. Be patient with yourself. I feel like a lot of those that are on the timeline that I'm on were a lot. We've worked through a lot of stuff, so we're more in a more patient and compassionate energy. And we have learned how to communicate in a more effective and efficient way, one that benefits everyone. So, like I said, just be patient. Today was already filming. Yes, it was very quiet today. In fact, when I went outside, because I've been spending a lot of time outside and a lot of time doing creative stuff, and working on the things that I'm trying to purge and move through. But today, normally the birds are pretty chatty, but today it was just very, very quiet. Like they knew something was going on with me, that they were being mindful themselves, and they were still singing their little melodies, but they were being very, it was almost like someone had turned the volume down. it was definitely a different day, I'll say that. Definitely an emotional day. So just know we're not alone. You're not alone. So yeah, the card that's on the bottom of the deck is Lunar Eclipse Change. 43, that's a 7. It's possible you can be see 3s and 4s. Yeah. I mean, everything is energy. So the birds are energy, the trees, everything, the tables, everything is energy. We're energy. So we're all connected to all things. So they know. And that's why everything is a message, including the vehicles you see drive by. Pay attention to the colors that you see. Each color represents a different thing. Pay attention to the numbers that you see, especially right now. Synchronicity is everywhere. I mean, every time I look. So pay attention to those numbers. I usually try to give general descriptions of what those numbers mean when I do videos. I've been doing more posts on different platforms representing the numerology, especially when I'm working with this trumpet plant right now. So that'll kind of help people get a general idea of what the numbers do mean. But the best way to navigate some of the numerology is when you see a certain pattern of numbers, look at what you're thinking about during the time that you see those numbers. Yeah, from your family. Yeah, that as you get further, Cody, some of that will go away. Because once you realize that there isn't separation, as far as, because everything is within yourself, everything is going on within you. Whatever you have within here is what is projected outside of you. It's like a movie. Watch The Truman Show, or there's a whole bunch of movies that are really good for representing that kind of stuff. I mean, Matrix is one that a lot of people use, but that's why, everybody that understands this consciousness and how everything works, it's a projection. You are the main star in your movie, you know? So what kind of movie do you want to create? So if you're feeling lonely, there's some kind of separation there. There's something that you're feeling that you're still missing. But once you realize that you're not missing anything, I feel like that may be a belief system. Once you realize what you pinpoint what that is, can be abandonment. Everything goes to childhood. Because I know I felt that for a while. And it was abandonment from childhood. But once you pinpoint that, once you pinpoint it and you start understanding that the only person that you can change is you, the lonely part, you won't have that sense of loneliness because you'll know that you are not alone. You have your higher self, you have your guides, your ancestors. And I know, as we go on this journey, it would be amazing to have someone with us, to accompany us. And you will eventually find that someone to, be on the journey with you, because we're not meant to be here by ourselves. That's not the point, because then we don't experience lessons and things like that. So yeah, no worries. Anytime you start feeling that way, journal your thoughts and see if you can find the root of that. And it can just be that you're getting toward the end of that cycle to where that will subside. That lonely feeling will subside. Because I've been through that too. The lonely part to where you feel like nobody understands you, and then the lonely part to where you wish, your close family members and things like that would understand, and then you get to a space to where you realize that you are the creator of your reality, and that, you're not alone. You do have people on this journey that are meant to be with you. And some are not. Excuse me. Some are there just to mirror back to you what your wounds may be so that you can work through those. Mm-hmm. So once those people have done what they were supposed to do here to show you those things, then they usually move on. Whether they move forward and do something else, or some transition. I mean, there's many different ways an energy can move on. But once that happens, then you'll meet new people. As you raise your vibration, you'll meet people that are on that vibration. But it's what's in here, because you're a vibration, just like I'm a vibration. So whatever mine is attracts a similar vibration, and then I will learn lessons from that vibration, because then they're matching my energy. So it'll be the same with you. So anyways, with this, and we know lunar eclipses are about taking things, things coming out, leaving our lives. That's what eclipses are about. And that's good. That's important, because once you know those things, what you want and you deserve, then you start establishing those firm boundaries, and you don't attract in those things that are unwanted, because like I said, it's a mirror. So you have to physically be what you want to see in your reality. So when we have certain things still within that we haven't worked through, we'll still continuously attract that vibration. But, with this energy that we're working with right now, that's what we're working on, the change. The last few things that need to go with this lunar eclipse. Eclipse is, eclipsing things out, like sending them in a portal. And that's what this is about. This reading tonight is about the 6/6 portal. I didn't even realize it until I was like, well, what should I read on tonight? And then I looked at the date and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 6/6. It should be the portal. And that's kind of what this reminds me of, with this lunar eclipse. When you have an eclipse, it just goes solid black. To me, that reminds me of a black hole, so like just tossing stuff in there. And you see it on certain movies where they show portals and stuff. And then if something goes in the portal, you can't see it after that. And to me, with this, I'm also getting like shift in timelines. So a lot of people are shifting over to different timelines. So lots of change going on. But I feel like this, honestly, the word I just heard was focused change. So not like when we first started on this journey where it was sporadic, like everything was kind of haywire and we didn't know left from right and up from down, because there were so many things coming at us at once. But with this, I'm getting focused change. The balance of the light and the dark, because you see in these cards how it has the moon. It has the moon signs. But, yin yang, balance. And, I also put that in the with the sixth trumpet. Sixes represent balance and reciprocity. Life path 9. Have you researched that? It would definitely benefit you, because right now, more than ever, we really need to be focusing on that life path number. So let's see what we have for overall energy, because that was just the bottom of the deck card. And then after we go over overall energy, then I'll do a couple cards for water, earth, air, and fire. Ooh, Mars, and it's a 5. Another 5. I'm not surprised. Bottom of the deck, Sagittarius. I see DAC. What is DAC? I don't know why I said that, but it must be relevant in some way. Good. Yeah, research it. Yeah, because, they're same vibration as you. You guys are on the same path, so you're learning your life path 9, so you're learning the same types of lessons, or very similar ones, because you're moving toward that path of the 9. So yeah, I'm not shocked to see this Mars force. I mean, look at that. That's volatile energy. Mars, that's Aries as well. That's fire. It's passion. I think that's also the masculine symbol. With this, I'm getting pushing through. And a lot. I personally have been feeling like a lot of heat, like sweating a whole lot out of nowhere, even just laying still. I'm like, what is going on? But it's purging energy. As you sweat, you release toxins. As you cry, you release toxins. Anything like that, And with this Mars, the intensity, the heat, the passion, that's part of it. In order to, and if you put these two together, you've got forced change, and most of us don't want forced change. Most of us don't want forced change, but a lot of times that's the only way that we get it. Those tough lessons, those hard lessons. And then with Sagittarius over here, I see, which is a 21, that equals a 3. But that's why I said epiphany moments when I first got on here. Big realizations, things that were so deep that we had the blinders on still to that stuff. So that is coming up. But with this Sagittarius, I see, and that's also, like I said, a 3. It's not hidden anymore. And if there is anything still hidden at this point, which I don't feel like there is much, but if there is, it's going to come up with that moon. Full moons are, we already know, we see it every day where people just go haywire during full moons. And that's because stuff comes up. And new moons are about creation. Full moons are purging, releasing. So, and underneath that is South Node Life's Debts, 42, which is a 6. So we've got 3, 6, 7, and 5. 7 and 5. 7. February, March. Yeah, that's July. So between this last May, and July, there's going to be lots of change between those times. Some things may have came up in March. See, because I got 5, 6, 7. That's May, June, and July. So big transformations between those times. And, we know the South Node is what we've already perfected. South Node is something that we're very familiar with. We've learned this in a previous lifetime. So when we came into this life, we already had this information. We just had to remember it with everything else. But that's part of it. And South Node is something that you're very good at. Underneath that is Jupiter Abundance, which is another 7. So I feel like July is going to be a very big month for a lot of us. Because I feel like with that 7, it's abundance, Jupiter is all about expansion. So 5, 6, and 7. So buckle up, like I said. Yeah. And a lot of readers have been talking about July. Well, I only listened to like 2, but I mean, I see them, I see it pop up, on different feeds. But July is definitely going to be big changes. And I feel like between now and then, there's going to be little incremental ones, just these random moments where we have, these little epiphanies of stuff that we have long suppressed are going to come up. And now it's time to face them. Can't run anymore. Well, imagine good things, okay? Because like I said, we create our reality. So we want to imagine positive manifestations, right? So, yep, stay positive during this time. And there's going to be stuff that's going to come up that's kind of we're going to get tested. We get tested all the time. So just know that it is going to be, even if it's a tough time, can you maintain your balance during those tough times, during those peaks and valleys? When we're in the valleys, can you maintain balance? That's what we've been training ourselves to do up to this point, is to be able to handle situations way differently than we used to. And we're going to be tested to see, are you going to be able to stay balanced? And we slip. We slip sometimes. That's okay. The important thing is that we pick ourselves back up. We say, okay, let me take a minute. Let me take a breather. Let me step away. Because we're manifesting the reality that we want, right? So I grabbed this oracle. This is the one I was drawn to besides the moon one. I definitely knew I wanted the moon one tonight. This is just a secondary, and I'm going to pull some. Oh, I'm not going to pull. I'm going to shuffle for water, earth, air, and fire. Probably should have put those in the correct order, but oh well. I just threw them out there. I'm going to roll with it. Apparently that's the way they were meant to come out. So it's just that OCD part of me that wants to correct it, but it's all right. So, but this is the Dream Oracle. Really like this one. It has a lot of good messages in it. I kind of want to see what the energy is, and we'll roll through. Like, we already see what the overall is for everyone. So, like I said, you're not alone. I'm not alone. You're not alone. Yep, May. Yep. That's right. Like I said, 5, 6, and 7, those months, those are big months of change for all of us collectively. So get ready. What song was that was just playing? Country House. That's wild. Oh my gosh, the song playing right now is Don't Give Up on Me by Andy Grammer. I love Andy Grammer. Yep. And if you've been seeing sixes, it's probably just reiterating that fact. But, you know, like I said, sixes are about balance and reciprocity. So where are you needing to balance within yourself? And are you giving as much to yourself as you're giving to others? Or are you giving too much outside of self? Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. Yeah, they're everywhere. Everywhere I look. It's a blessing because that's how we're guided. So let's see. Bottom of the deck. Oh my gosh, is that another 5? It's a 23, which is a 5, and it says trust. I'm going to read this just because it is another 5. It says, trust yourself and the universe's plan for you. Do not give your trust to others lightly. When one door closes, another opens. Oh my gosh. I said something about that earlier. I swear I'm having a deja vu moment. Or it was something I heard. Either way, there are no coincidences and there are no accidents. So apparently we needed to hear that, or someone needed to hear it. I know I needed to hear it, so that was great to hear. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get cards for water, earth, air, and fire. So water signs. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, water signs. What do we got? What do we got for the water energies? Water. Nope. It's never too late. Never. Okay, I'm going to put that on waters. Shuffle again. I'm going to pull earth. I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards, and then I'll read each one. Earth. What do we got? Oracle for earth. Their signs. Yeah, that's why I said the song that played is Don't Give Up on Me by Andy Grammer. I'm Cody, if you need some uplifting music, I am a music person. I grew up with music, and I love music. So if you need an uplifting song, a songwriter that is amazing, and he is definitely higher consciousness, is Andy Grammer. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. If you have heard of him, then you already know. He's I can't ever get down when I listen to his music. I mean, it's been a while since I've been down anyways, just because our energies have changed. But that's been my go-to lately, I'd say, for the past 6 months. So that's a good one. If you can, check him out. Earth sign. Earth signs cards are like in a clump. What's going on with Earth? 2 came out for Earth. Set that there. I'll look at it here in a minute. All right, so air. Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. Music, and then anything fantasy movie, mythological. Love that kind of stuff. And yeah, comedy. Love to laugh. We just watched the new Joe Coy the other day. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like stand-up comedians. All right, air signs. 5. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Okay, get this, get this. And I just realized this. Okay, the fire sign card is a 23. 5. Water is a 24. 6. Air is a 7. And earth is an 8. Isn't that crazy? So, yeah, these 3 months are big, pivotal. And I feel like with with that earth 8th, I'm getting like we'll be established and grounded in our energy um, by the 8th month of this year. Those that are on this timeline. So, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome when spirit comes through like that. They're like, oh, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Jim Carrey. Air. All right. All right. Fire. Fire, fire, fire. Numerology. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Have you done a timeline for yourself? Like I've gone through and wrote down every 5 year, like every year, every single like year that equal to 5. Like this year, 4, 5, 6, is an 8 year. Yeah. Okay, like this year, 2024 is an 8 year. So I went through from the time I was born and I wrote every single year down. And then if you add the numbers together, it'll tell you what year it is, what year it represents. And then numbers only go to 9. So, and then it starts back over with 1. That's every cycle. So if you go through, I went through my own, and every single time that I had a 5 year, yeah. So every time I had a 5 year, something always happens. Whether it was a wedding, a birth of a child, a divorce, a loss of a relationship, any kind of change, like big change. It was a 5 year. So it's pretty wild. Sit down and do it. Get you a notebook. And journaling really helps a lot anyways. And I just did it in my journal, one of my journals. And yeah, it'll kind of give you an eye opener, Yeah, it's some kind of change. It's either, a new relationship begins or it ends, or a child is born, or anything can happen. Yeah. Yeah. Change doesn't mean it has to be negative. It can be anything. But I've had a lot of crazy stuff happen in 5 years. One's that equal to 5. Whew. Throat chakra, fire signs. What's going on? I think I need to shuffle this again. Fire sign. What do we got for fire? Yeah. Well, everyone that we meet is a significant soulmate because nothing is an accident. So they are drawn to us to teach us something, or they are to learn from us. We are all students and teachers. So everyone we meet is a student and a teacher, and we are a student and a teacher. So if you can look at situations like that, then it kind of takes some of the sting out of it whenever things don't end great. If you can look at it as it's a lesson It's something that you need to learn about yourself. It's something that she needed to learn about herself. Valentine's Day 5 years ago. That's cool. Jasmine. Jasmine, that reminds me of Aladdin. I watched that movie not that long ago. I've been watching a lot of Disney movies lately. That's nice. That's cool. All right, what do we got for fire? What do we got for fire energy tonight in this portal? Oh no, fire signs. That's too much. That's half the deck. Fire signs are apparently needing to speak or wanting to speak because my throat chakra keeps getting irritated. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of older Disney movies, like ones that when my older kids were little. So Toy Story, Cars, a little nostalgia. But yeah, and a lot of those movies, believe it or not, I mean, they always usually have a good message anyways, but when you understand things from a different consciousness, you see them totally different, and you'll find like messages in there. It'll blow your mind, really. It blew mine. Okay, let's see. Fire. Come on, fire. I don't know what's going on with fire signs tonight. They're not wanting to talk. Maybe it's the deck. I mean, fire energy was out here a lot. Like with the Mars energy, and then we've got Sag energy over here. And like I said, the moon is Libra right now. And I believe, we're still in Gemini energy, which is communication. What is going on with fire signs? I've got a lot of fire in my chart. It could be that they're hermit mode. Because after the day that I had today, as far as like emotional, purging, I was like, I don't know if I want to do a live tonight or if. And then as soon as I realized it was the 6/6 portal, I'm like, no, I've got to go live tonight. Dumbo, Bambi, Pinocchio, and Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those are super cute movies. Oh my goodness, no. No time for yawning. Don't even start that. All right, let's see. Come on, fire signs. Talk to me. What we got going on? In this deck, there's not a lot of cards, so it doesn't shuffle that great. Fun and fancy. Free. Yeah. Yeah, I've been. Oh my goodness, why? Oh, stop yawning. I've been like really creative, like having a lot of just wanting to create things, wanting to paint things. Last night at 2 a.m., I was painting the trim in my apartment. Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I woke up this morning at 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, why? Why am I awake right now? I don't know what is going on with fire signs. I don't even think that one was supposed to be for them. But I'm going to take it because it did come out. So this one keeps popping up on the bottom. 31 equals a 4. Nature, Gaia. Respect the beauty of your body as you respect Mother Earth. Remain connected to nature. You are being protected. Now, I know I personally have been in nature a lot lately, been wanting to really be outside and pay attention to what's going on outside with birds, animals, just paying attention to every single thing that I would visually see. Pay attention to that stuff. I mean, it's wild the things you will see. There was one day I saw two squirrels chasing each other and fighting. And then that same day, something happened very similar, but with people. So pay attention. The animals will show you. It's like they give you a pre-warning. It's really wild. All right, which one of these do I want to use? I'm going to use the numerology oracle since we've been all about numbers tonight. I'm going to use the numerology to clarify these. So with water, before I pull these, so water signs, they got play, which is a 9. Find time to incorporate play into your everyday life. Allow your inner child to experience joy. You deserve to be happy and be joyful around others. So, inner child work with that 9 being there, that's, toward the end of a cycle. That's completion of a cycle because it starts back over at 1. But, like I said, creative energy, getting back in touch with those childlike things that we love to do. Some of us may have those epiphany moments, remembering, some of the stuff that we used to love to do as kids. Maybe playing more with your kids if you have children. Spending more time doing more stuff that's fun, stuff that brings you joy. I mean, I've been talking to numerous different people about what is their joy, what brings them joy. That is the fastest way to get out of a unbalanced mood, I guess you would say. If we get into our emotions too much with that water energy there, because like I said, we'll be going into Cancer energy soon. But if we get too much into the emotion side and start feeling that and being a little too hard on ourselves, a good way to redirect that energy and transmute that energy is to tap into the play energy. Connect with the inner child and connect with the things that you did as a kid that you love to do. And it can be anything. And don't be afraid to do it. If you want to color in a coloring book, do it. If you want to play with the Matchbox cars, do it. If you want to watch Disney movies, do it. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't care what anybody says. It don't matter. All that matters is how you feel and how it makes you feel. Yeah. The meaning of 3 squirrels. Yeah. Don't be afraid to look that stuff up, especially if you feel drawn to do it. Yeah. If you feel drawn to look up something, do it. Because there's probably a message there for you. And you can also research in some of them that, especially if they stand out to you, they're probably your guides in that moment, like a spirit guide, an animal spirit guide. So don't be afraid to research that stuff. Okay, on the bottom of the deck for Cancer in the numerology is parenting. Oh, wow. Talk about numerology. It's a 63, which equals a 9, and their card was a 9. See, 63. Parenting. And the play is 45, but still equals a 9. So play and parenting. So some of you, if you have children, then this has to do with, taking the time to be playful, with the kids. Not being afraid to step into that childlike state and be goofy and silly, like you were when you were a kid. Don't be afraid to step into that space. um, that will bring out even more joy. It's just our old belief systems and uh, schools and parents and whoever told us that, oh, well, you're an adult now, so you can't act like a kid. Why? I mean, it's okay. It's okay to act like a kid, have fun with your kids, and act like them and do silly stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. And the other aspect of this, some of you also may be going through like with that parenting and play, and those both equals a 9. I'm getting like closure energy too. Like some of you may have kids that are at the age to where they're moving out of the home. Some of you also, water signs, may be having things come up relating to parenting, whether it be your own parents or the way that you parent your own children, or the way that you parent yourself. Can be just the way that you talk to yourself, your inner child. The whole thing is be the parent that you wanted growing up. Some people, I mean, we've all had different experiences. Some people had parents that were great. Some people didn't. But it was all set up that way because that was something we had to experience. That was something that we had to learn so that we could unlearn. They had to show us. And there's a lot of wild ways that it went down, but ultimately it was for our highest good. So that's what I'm getting with water signs. Water signs, in order for you guys to see what needs this change, tap into the playful side. Don't be afraid to do a little inner child work if you haven't already done so. And don't be afraid of the things that come up, because right now things will be coming up. And I feel like it's relating to parenting, whether it has to do with your own parents or just the way that, you're parenting, or I should say we, because we're all in this collective energy, the way that we parent our children. Are we consciously parenting our children, or are we parenting them out of our old belief systems? Are we parenting them out of the way that our parents parented us? We don't want to continue that cycle, do we? I know I don't. I want to learn from those lessons so that I can raise conscious children, so they have a better life and a better world, and they can create and manifest what they want in their reality. And, the beautiful things, the wonderful things in life. So that is for water signs. Just tap into the energy of play during this time. That's going to be really important, especially with whatever is changing and whatever's coming up. Allow, let the energy flow. Because water signs are, and remember this too, we have all signs in our chart. So every single one of these that I read, water, earth, air, and fire, can apply. Every single one of these can apply to each one of us, because it's an aspect. Water is emotion. Earth is our 3D world, our time, energy, effort. Air is our thoughts, and fire is our passions, our actions, what we do. But they all tie in together. So this, I feel, with the water, this is the emotional side. These may be the things that we may be facing during this, and it definitely resonates with me. For sure. But in order to transmute this energy, tap into the play energy, and that will help. when these epiphanies come up. What's water sign? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Is that what you want to know? Yep. Yeah, water sign is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energy. But we have all in our charts. Yeah, air, earth, fire, and water. And each one of these has 3. Water has 3, earth has 3, air has 3, and fire has 3. But they're all just different types of the same energy. But we have all in our chart. The meaning of it? Mentioned about it earlier. The meaning of, I don't know, I guess I just blanked out right there. Well, I just read it for water, which is Cancer energy, Pisces energy, and Scorpio energy. And if you have that in your chart, like highly aspected, like if it's your sun, moon, rising, or your Venus, those placements are highly aspects in our charts. So if you have water in those, then you'll have more of an emotional experience during this 6/6 portal. If you have more earth in your main ones, or air or fire, those are the ones that are probably going to resonate more with you. Is that what you meant? Okay. All right. And then on the bottom for water signs is 22 intuition, which is that red, that red energy, fire energy. But 22, that's starting on, that's a master number. 33 is the master teacher. So 22 is the start. First it's the 11 and then it's 22. But 33 is the master teacher. So, but yeah, intuition. Listen to your intuition during this time because there are, like I said, going to be downloads going on. So, all right, we're going to switch over now to the earth signs. I wonder if earlier that's why I was wanting to rearrange those cards because of the synchronicity and the numbers. But, I didn't catch that. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah. So, do you know all the other ones? Earth is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and fire. Yep. Aries, Leo, Sag. Yep. Have you done your birth chart? Oh my gosh, my favorite song's playing. Joy by Andy Grammer. If you haven't heard it, go and listen to it. I find joy in my life. Get me like, yeah. Ooh, found joy in my life. Get me like, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, now if I'm not on camera, I am usually singing this at the top of my lungs. That's good. It's really good to know your birth chart because that is like your own personal roadmap. Cool. I'm a Taurus rising. I'm very familiar with Taurus energy. Moon and Sag. I'm a moon in Capricorn. So I've got double Earth. I'm a Sag Venus. Rising Pisces. Nice. That's water. So this, the reading I did for water may resonate with you more because Pisces is your moon. Moon is about your emotions. how you handle situations emotionally, how you express yourself with emotion. It's all about feelings because our moon, moon is attached to emotions. See, mine is Earth, mine's Capricorn, but my sun sign is a Scorpio, which is your opposite. You are a Taurus. So that's pretty cool. All right, so finish shuffling these for Earth signs. Get on to the Earth signs. And then after I do Earth signs, let's see what time are we at right now. We're an hour in. I know I've been doing a lot of chitty chatter. Venus is Gemini. Cool. Yeah, I think it's Jupiter in a woman's chart. Jupiter is husband. In a man's chart, I think Venus is wife. Jupiter's sign is in Capricorn. So that's what your expansion will be in, is in Capricorn. Because Jupiter is expansion. Venus is Gemini. So it can be I'll have to look because I can't remember on males if it's Venus is the wife. I think for females' birth charts, it's Jupiter is the I could be wrong though. Don't quote me. I'm going to have to double check. It's been a while since I've researched that. I've been here lately. I've just been doing my own stuff, because I did so much research for the last 5 years. I've been mainly focusing more on the now and focusing more on inner, like really deep stuff. But yeah, I've delved into the depths. Definitely Alice in Wonderland experience. All right. Okay, wait. Let me see. Compassion. Let's see what they got here first because I didn't even check for earth signs. They got the goddess. 8, which is a 24, which is another 6. And then nurture, which is a 4. 4s are, that was April. And then we got another 6 out here. 4s are about stability. 6s are about reciprocity, equal give and take. That's what I talked about earlier with that 6th trumpet. So nurture, it says take care of your needs first. Your nurturing will benefit others only if your own needs are met first. Nurture the new in your life and watch it grow. So I did mention the other day when I posted the number 4 video about I think it was number 4. No, it was number 3, because 3s are about waiting on your seeds to grow, about planting seeds and waiting on them to grow. 4s are about stability, which is probably why they got this giant tree on there, because that's kind of what we are when we're building from a firm foundation. We're becoming a tree, a giant tree. But yeah, definitely Alice. Yeah, I did a lot of delving deep down. So the second card the earth signs got is embrace the feminine. I just like spit everywhere. Somebody may be very talkative and very spitty. Embrace the feminine. Create and be gentle, nurturing yet strong. Do not listen to those who want to keep you small. Believe that you are as important as the stars in the heavens. Oh, that's beautiful. So earth signs are nurturing their inner goddess right now. So 4 and 6. And this really ties in because during this time, like it's talking about not allowing, making sure you're putting yourself first. Make make sure, like most people give that reference, put your mask on first before trying to help someone else. Because if you're in an airplane and you don't put your mask on, then you can't help nobody else because you done passed out. You see what I'm saying? It's pretty much the same reference. You know, you have to nurture yourself first. If you are nurturing, excuse me, I always get itchy nose. Um, if you're nurturing people outside of self, if you're giving all of your energy outside of self, then there's nothing left for you. I had to learn that the very, very hard way. The very, very, very hard way. Um, but the other card says, be gentle, nurturing, yet strong. So that's about balance. Do not listen to those who want to keep you small. So, like I said earlier about us being tested, we are going to be tested. Are we gonna maintain our boundaries, or are we gonna allow people to walk all over us? And obviously, no, we're not, because we know our worth, we know our value, and we know that we know there has to be balance in order to create a fulfilling life, to create the life that we want. There has to be balance, but it's just reiterating the fact that um, these will probably be some of our tests. you know Make sure that we're standing firm in our boundaries, make sure that we are putting our own mask on first. you know those are important during this portal. And that's why I feel, when I do air, fire, earth, and water readings, to me, um it's basically just one huge collective energy reading, because like I said, we have all signs in our chart somewhere. Even if it's not in your mains, it's down in your chart. It's in there somewhere. You have every single sign. So I feel like all of these is just different aspects of us. And like I said, each one represents something. Water is emotion. Earth is our 3D energy, effort, time. Um, air is our thoughts. What's up here? What we're telling ourselves, what we're telling others, what we're speaking, communication. Air is also about communication. Fire is our passions, things we're passionate about. It's also about our actions. Is that the question you were asking earlier? What each one of them meant? Because if so, then apparently the question finally came back around in my head. Sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes when I get on a channel rant, it just flows out, and then the question will just like go through, and then it'll loop back around. So, do you want me to repeat it? Wow, it looks pretty. Look at that. Do you see that? It's like a haze over there. I know I'm not the only one seeing it. Okay, so water is emotion. How you feel in your heart space. How you handle situations with emotion. Earth, yes. Earth is your 3D world. Time that you give to situations, time you give to yourself. Energy, the energy that you give out, or the energy that you reserve and keep to yourself. Yes. And effort. It's basically, yeah, that's why I say 3D world, because it's what you're giving externally. It's what you do outside of self. It's also, your groundedness within self. So it's both. But I always reference 3D world because it is a lot of this that we interact with. Air is your thoughts and communication. How you communicate within your mind to yourself and how you communicate to others, what you think, your thoughts. So basically, in a nutshell, air is thoughts and communication. Yep. And communication. Don't forget that one because they're very close together. And fire is passion and action. Things you're passionate about. Yep. Fire is things you're passionate about and what you do, like your actions that you take, the things that you act on. So anyways, back to the earth, the groundedness, the foundation that we're building right now, the tree within us, this big giant oak tree that we're building, or whatever tree you want to be. I mean, honestly, it's your reality. It's my reality. We can create whatever we want. We can be whatever tree we want to be. I think I might want to be a willow. I like willow trees. They're beautiful. I also like the, what is that tree that's in Japan? Cherry blossom tree. I've always loved a cherry blossom tree. I think I would choose that one over a willow. Willow would be my second. But yeah, if you ever want to get into tree energy, like for, just if you need to ground, it's always good to go outside if you need to ground, hug a tree, something like that. But of course, make sure you ask permission to do so. But because everything is alive and living as far as energy. But just imagine yourself as a tree. What kind of tree would you want to be? And that does help. It will help you ground. If you can like envision it in your mind in a meditative state, or just close your eyes and see it, it will help you ground. If you ever feel sporadic or like you're too much in your head, if you want to ground yourself, that's a good way to do it. But yes, earth sign, Taurus for Capricorn, or basically I feel this is just for the entire collective. Be nurturing to self and step into the goddess energy. And this doesn't matter if you're male or female. Carnation flowers. Cool. Yeah, they're very pretty. Carnation flowers remind me of like prom. I don't know why, but I just got prom. It just reminds me of prom. So earth. So yes, we're very much stepping into goddess energy, but also balancing with the energy of tree, being nurturing. That's also Gaia energy. Just that whole connection with everything. Like I said in the beginning of the video, being connected to everything. Because we're all made of the same thing. We're all energy. So, okay. The numerology card that was on the bottom for Earth was compassion, which was a 99. So we're getting a lot of nines. So we've had a lot of completions. Like I said, I had one today. But a lot of us, like I said, from May to July, there's going to be lots of changes. And then by August, everything is going to be the seeds that are planted between now and then, it's going to be solidified. So by the 8, which will be, believe it or not, that is crazy, the 8-8 portal, that's Lionsgate. So I have a feeling that's going to be very significant. Compassion earlier. Yeah. So earth. So within ourselves, with the earth energy, we have to maintain compassion for ourselves, but for others as well. Understanding that, everyone is a mirror, everyone is a student and a teacher. I know for a long time it was very easy, as in a lower vibrational state, to place blame outside of self. But when we understand that we create our reality and these are all experiences that we're meant to have to teach us about who we are and teach us about our wounds and how we need to heal them, then we see other people from a different perspective. We see them as teachers and students and see them as people who have helped us along our journey. Yeah. I mean, and that's what we're supposed to do. Because when we stop learning, then we're not living. So we learn something new every single day. So yeah, compassion on the bottom, but I'm going to shuffle and see what we get for numerology for the earth. For our 3D, because I mean, even though it's different signs and other people can watch it, for earth, air, fire, and water, if they feel so drawn to do so, that's fine. Just from my perspective, I feel like this represents different aspects of us. And I feel like that is kind of helping me process. Yeah. And I feel like this will also help the collective too, because I'm breaking it down by emotion and, by our different aspects, different parts of us that we're working with. So I think this is going to help a lot. I'm really glad it kind of came out this way, because this is like a different way. So I'm probably going to stick with this format because I like it. But as people watch, let me know let me know what you guys think. But obviously I'm going to roll with what I feel, what I'm pulled to do. So I really think this is, obviously it came out like this for a reason, and it's because it's meant to. It's supposed to be like this for the collective. Oh man, karmic completion for Earth. So like I said before, on the bottom of the deck was that 99, and it was compassion. But, nines are the end of a cycle. So we're back at 1. Karmic completion. So we have completed a cycle, and that's falling under Earth. So I feel like, with Earth, the 3D part of us, we know we are completing this cycle. We're placing firm boundaries. We're building on a firm foundation. We don't want to build on sinking sand. Yeah. Awesome. I know. I feel very relaxed right now. It's a very, very calm vibe right now. I really like this energy. So that's what I feel with that karmic completion, that part that we're wrapping up. Whatever is relating to that parenting in the emotion side, that's something that was needed to be looked at and faced. But for 3D, time, energy, effort, the goddess is letting us know that, we have to be number one priority in our lives. And don't worry about what everybody else says, thinks, whatever. There's always going to be the ones that say, oh, well, you're being selfish or whatever. They can think and believe however they wish to. That is their choice. They create their reality. So they have absolutely nothing to do with us. The important thing is that we stay on our path and we know who we are. We know our power. We know we are the goddess, the god and the goddess, because, we have masculine and feminine. So we are both. And with this earth, I feel like a lot of the collective is tapping more into the feminine energy, because I feel like a lot of us have been in more masculine energy. I mean, from what I've noticed, it seems like a lot more of the males have been in more feminine energy and the females have been in a more masculine energy. It was like it was flip-flopped. But once we've worked on those wounds and looked at those things, then I feel like we are starting to balance that. Instead of having too much masculine or too much feminine, we're now bringing in more of that goddess energy, and nurturing ourselves, allowing those emotions to flow freely. Your moon sign is in passion and action, and your Aries is emotion, and your Venus is in thoughts and communication. Yeah, and since you broke it down like that, Cody, that should give you a way better picture of how you're handling situations. If you can look at it that way, it gives you like a different perspective. You know, to me, it seems like it makes it easier to understand. If I'd have known that a long time ago, it would have made it a lot easier on me. That's for dang sure. All right, so we're going to go over to air. Actually, what are we at now? 12:35. Because I got air and fire left. Let's see. You also have thoughts. It looks like it's just you and I in here at the moment, Cody. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go take a quick break. Take a quick restroom break and get a refill on my coffee. And then I will do the air and the fire, which is our thoughts and our passions and emotions. Is that okay? Cool. Yeah, because I need to use the restroom and get me a refill. So I shall return. I'll be right back. Okie dokie, I'm back. Are you here? Sorry about that. I talked to my daughter. She's heading to bed. All right, so on to air. So air got the relationship card and flow. So, okay, think air. We're talking about thoughts and communication. So 39 for relationships, which is a 12, that breaks down to a 3. And then flow is a 9, which is it's actually a 27, but it goes to a 9. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Do what you got to do. It's good. It's good to take notes. I used to take notes all the time, and it helped me so very much on my journey. Um, so when it comes to thoughts and communication, so with this relationships card coming out, um, let me read what this says. New partnerships are coming your way. Reassess present relationships and leave behind those who do not support you. Be clear what you are committing to. Okay, that one's pretty straightforward. So, even though this is thoughts and communication, so communication is very important right now. Do not be afraid to speak your truth. Speak how you feel, what you truly want in a relationship. You know, what are your boundaries? What are your deal breakers? You know, what are the things that you um, know are not serving you, right? Because we talked about this earlier about having boundaries and not being a doormat, not, okay, like the movie Avatar. I'm going to use another movie reference. Um, when, uh, what is his name? I don't know why it just flew out of my head. Yeah, Aang. When Aang is looking at all the avatars that were before him, every avatar looked just like him, but it was a different lifetime. So each one was a different aspect of him, a different avatar of him. So, excuse me, if you look at it in that sense, throughout our lifetimes and this lifetime, we create different avatars of ourself throughout life, usually when we're in a lower vibrational state, because we feel like we have to turn into some sort of chameleon to make other people happy, like completely change who we are just to make another person happy. um, I don't know if you have experienced that, but I have done that in many relationships, would become someone else just to please the other person. But that is not what I'm creating now. I'm creating um, relationships that I know are going to serve me, because that is what I have for myself. I have that compassion and that love for myself, to where I know what I deserve, and I know that I want a healthy relationship. I know that I want healthy communication and happiness and joy and love and respect and trust. I want all of those things. So those are the things that I have to have within myself. In order to have that mirror of those things, I have to have that within myself. And then with this flow card, it says, hold on, my contacts are getting dry, sorry. You can't control life's events. You can only control how you deal with them. We did talk about this earlier, about um, how you handle emotion, like how you communicate, because right now we're talking about thoughts and communication. So how you communicate your emotions, how you project your emotions. Um, so you can't control life's events. You can only control how you deal with them. So, and we did talk about that in the other sense, as far as creating our world through ourself. How we are within self is what is projected outside of ourselves. So it says it's easier to go with the flow when life challenges you. Emotions can overflow unless you release them. So, and we've been talking about this with this force and change and releasing emotions, allowing things to flow. So, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to um, go out in the middle of a forest and yell at the top of your lungs, do it. There's many ways you can release emotion. Like I said, you can release it through sweating. You can cry, you can sing. There's so many things. You can even release emotion and transmute emotion by being creative. You can draw, you can paint, um, you can play an instrument, you can sing. There's so many different things. It's whatever brings you joy is how you transmute from negative to positive, right? Gotcha. So with air being thoughts and communication, we need to make sure that we're communicating not only within self but outside of self. Remember, what you speak is what you create, what you think is what you create. That's why all these things have to work together. So if you have control over your thoughts, you can redirect the energy. If you have random thoughts that pop in that are not what you want, and you can change that. But in this aspect, your thoughts on relationships, make sure that we got to make sure that we're establishing those boundaries. We are being honest with what we want, not being afraid to say how we feel, but also allowing things to flow naturally. So not trying to control the outcome, not putting expectations on things, because when we do that, then we limit the manifestation. So it's about allowing, not holding on to emotion. I learned that one today. That was another one of mine today. Allowing things to flow. Because if you hold on to certain emotions and we try to suppress those, they will come out. They have to go somewhere. And if you hold on to them too long, then that creates disease within the body. And none of us want that. So, in regards to air sign, with thoughts and communication, allow the thoughts to flow through you, transmute them. If they're, thoughts that do not serve you, obviously. If they're thoughts that do benefit you, allow them to flow. Allow your creativity to, because we can come up with some amazing stuff in our minds. We are very creative, highly creative spiritual beings. So don't be afraid to allow your childlike state to come in with the creativity, and just let it flow through. But we have to maintain with these new partnerships that are coming in. And like I said, we will be tested. There's going to be ones that are going to roll through that, they're going to test us and see if we're going to fall for the same old stuff, or are we grounded enough within ourselves and stand firm in our boundaries, know who we are, and, you know, all of this hard work that we've done, we're not going to fall for the same old, you know, we're not going to fall for it. We're going to see the red flags. We're not going to throw those red flags under a carpet, you know, like we used to. We've learned those lessons. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So that's what I feel like for like that part for air signs, relationships and flow. So it's basically just keeping, making sure we are communicating what it is that we want, being honest with ourselves about what is serving us and what isn't. You know, if it's a relationship in our life, whether it's family, friends, relationships, if it is not something that is serving you, serving us as a collective, then it has to go. Yeah, it has to go because the rose-colored glasses are off. You know, we're not falling for it anymore. We're not keeping the blinders on. We're taking the blinders off. We see clearly. And we just need to be mindful about the things that we're telling ourselves and make sure we're being good to ourselves and being kind to ourselves, nurturing with the goddess energy of earth. But yeah. So let's see on the bottom for air, which is thoughts and communication. We have a 91, which goes to a 10. Surrender. And see, that's red, which is, it's fire, but it's also the base chakra, the lowest chakra. But the purple in the center is crown. So higher understanding of what it means to surrender, knowing that we're creating things that are for our highest good. And that one's on the bottom. I'm going to pull that. I'm just going to find a card, but that starts back at 1. So creation energy. So creating new thoughts in our minds, you know, it's like reprogramming of the mind. That's what I just got. Reprogramming the mind. We're now creating from higher consciousness, creating what we want in our reality with our thoughts and our heart. It has to be aligned. So let's see. Oh my gosh, this song. I am not going to cry. I got to see what the name of the song is because I feel like it's relevant. Okay. Ed Sheeran, Leave Your Life. So we were just talking about with relationships where it talks about if something is not, I'm going to read it again. New partnerships are coming your way. Now, see, we know we have to let go of the old in order to let in the new. Okay. If we have too much of something within our life, if we don't clear that, then we don't have room for new energy. There has to be space. So new partnerships are coming your way. Reassess present relationships and leave behind those who do not support you. I feel like that is tied to that song, Leave Your Life by Ed Sheeran. So if you get a chance, Cody, check it out. Anybody else that watches the video after, please check it out. I feel like it's relevant to this reading. All right, let's see. Air. Numerology. What do we got for air? For thoughts and communication. Numerology. We're gonna leave Yeah. And that's the wild thing, is with everything being energy. Like I was saying earlier, where some people will transition, you know. Um, that's what I'm getting with that song. If there's any in our life that transition out, um, become energy, leave the human shell. I feel like that's what that song is. That's the ancestors letting us know they're never gone. I feel like that is something that I definitely. I mean, I already knew that, but that's something that I'm being reminded of because of the epiphany moment that I had today. So I feel like that is relevant to the collective because some of us have lost quite a few loved ones, but they're never lost and they're never gone. Okay. So for thoughts, 3 cards, these puppies flew out and they landed on water. So this is also tied in with emotion. There's music, perseverance, and intuition. 5, 4, and 22. See, and I've been drawn to orange a lot lately, which orange I believe is sacral. Yep, orange is sacral chakra, which is the one right above the root chakra, which is the base chakra. And then right in the middle of this is heart chakra. So by utilizing our heart chakra, and also I feel like, those of us who love music, we know that we tie our emotion to certain songs. Like we can listen to certain songs and we can remember where we were when we heard that song, or what happened when we heard that song, or that song can be related to a relationship. I mean, we tie a lot of things to music. We really do. But I feel like this by persevering over everything, because green is heart. So I feel like that's why it landed on water. Emotion. Because, like I said earlier, there has to be balance between head and heart. So by opening up our heart chakra with this perseverance card, paying attention to our intuition and music, because music is, I don't know if you've heard of frequency healing, but I feel like that will help a lot of the collective right now. 369 frequency, because I see in 3 and 9 there. Pretty much any of the frequencies that's on there. You just have to tinker with it and see which one resonates with you when you listen. But those are very good to listen to when you're going to bed at night. You can play them, in your room while you're going to sleep and just let them play. Some of them are like 6 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours long. But they're very healing. So I feel like that is relevant to healing of the heart chakra, but also being mindful and paying attention, using your intuition. If you're hearing certain songs, because that is how our guides, ancestors, angels, all of them, that's how they talk to us, is through music, through numbers, synchronous, the synchronistic with numbers, or seeing the same things like we were talking about earlier with squirrels and birds, and just watching the patterns, because it's all about patterns. If you're able to pay attention to those things, that is us being more tapped in and using our intuition during this time of this 6/6 portal. And I just got this too. I know when I was younger, we would make mixtapes. I mean, this is kind of telling my age a little bit, but we would make these things called mixtapes. And yeah, I mean, everything really, because everything's connected. Everything can be a message from, I mean, I pay attention to even vehicles that I see and what colors they are. And what sometimes you can just read, like if a vehicle has something on it, read what it says. If you actually see it and you're drawn to like read what it says, that's a message. Yeah, mixtapes. So that's one thing I got when I saw that music card, because it's with the air, so that's thoughts and communication. So as a kid, or preteen, teen, we would make mixtapes for our significant others, our boyfriends, or girlfriends. We would get mixtapes and we would make them, and we would name them these cool, cool. We had to make up a cool title, write all the songs down, and it would be like this love, you know, this love, lovey-dovey thing. But that's what I got from that, as well as the other messages. But it's just because we have music tied to so many things. So like I said, music is tied to a lot of memories. But yeah, I mean, that's what we did. Music was life. I mean, it still is to me. I love music. But yeah, I feel like, and music too is going to help, during this portal as well, between this time frame, between now and July. Music will help us to persevere over any of these tests that come through, mental tests, because like I said, we're in air energy right now. And I mean, we are physically in air energy as far as we're in Libra for the moon at this point in time, and Gemini energy, because this is Gemini season right now before we transit into Cancer. So music will help us persevere through this part of, with our thoughts and stuff. That's what I get from this. Because look, music, persevere, intuition. Intuition is here, but it's also in your gut. Your gut feelings. That's the thing you should always trust. Trust that before you do anything else. Trust your gut. And I'm sure you've had grandparents and everybody tell you that, because I know I have. And it really, they were definitely on to something there. Planets. Oh yeah, I've studied all of that. I started with astrology. That's where I started on my journey. I mean, now way back in the day, I was very curious about UFOs because I saw one when I was a kid. My parents, I think, still don't believe me to this day, but I don't care. I know what I saw. So we're going to go on to fire. We're going to go on to the passion and action part. And I feel like the way the cards came out, because I just grabbed them off of my shelf and put them out here. Water, earth, air, fire. I feel like this is the way they were meant to come out. Even though they're not in numerological order, it's still all tied in the way it was meant to. So like I said, I don't believe anything happens for accident. Everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences. So let's see. Fire. I'm going to shuffle this for fire, and then I'm going to see what cards they got. Did they just get one? Yep. They got manifest. So, as we go through this, we're creating all of this with play, nurture, tapping into the power of the goddess, establishing boundaries, and communicating with relationships and allowing flow, we are manifesting what we want. Oh, I love how that tied in. That's awesome. All right. And see there, that manifest card is a 48, which equals a 12, and that breaks down to a 3. So 3s are about waiting on your ships to come in, waiting on your seeds that you planted to manifest. So right now we're preparing those seeds. We're making sure that we plant the seeds of intention, what we want within here and here and here, mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul. That's what we are creating. So let's see. Fire. Oh, yeah, I was talking with my daughter earlier and I figured out why I'm tired. Because like I said, I didn't go to bed till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I woke back up at, I think it was like 6:30, and I was like awake. And I thought it was later than what it was, because normally I wake up at 8, but these past couple days I've been waking up super early. I'm like, why? What's going on? All right, fire. Aries is Mars, Taurus is Venus, Gemini is Mercury, Cancer is Moon, Leo is Sun. Scorpio is Mars and Pluto. Is that their... Yeah, because I was going to say Scorpio's is Pluto. But yeah, I think its original was Mars. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the first thing I studied. The very first. And that was back in 2016, 2017 when I started studying astrology, because I was actually started with looking at the constellations, learning the constellations, and then started getting into the different planets and being able to see those, and then watching. I've always been fascinated with the moon, like very drawn to the moon. Okay, bottom of the deck is domestic harmony, 46, and see in there that manifest card is a 48, so that's only 2 away. And this one equals a 10. 10s are completion. Well, 1, that's a start at 1. So domestic harmony, that's, I mean, who could ask for anything more? Because it's talked in, the last part with air, with thoughts and communication about relationships and a new relationship coming in. So I'm thinking life partner. That's what we're wanting to manifest. And with this coming on the bottom, it's showing that this is harmony, domestic harmony. Blue is throat chakra. So we were just talking about, air, which is communication and thoughts. So blue represents throat. Green represents heart. So being able to speak what you truly feel is going to create the manifestations that we want, because this is action, fire. Action, passion, what we're passionate about, what we truly want. I mean, look at that unicorn. I love unicorns. They're majestic. They're mystical. It's like finding that unicorn, that partner, that ride or die, that unicorn that we think we're not ever going to find. We're about to find it. Actually, we're about to manifest it. Because we create our reality. We're intentional up in this. Bleep. We're intentional up in here. So we are creating this. So we're about to find our unicorn. Isn't that awesome? I'm excited. We're going to find our unicorn. That's awesome. So domestic harmony. Okay, so all right, let's get one card. Oh, well, that was fast. Hey, fire fought us in the beginning. And then they just throw a card at me. Thank you, fire. But, hey, that's a perfect representation of fire. Fire energy is fast. So this is coming in fast, whatever this is, this relationship, this thing that we're creating. 12, 13, that equals a 4, and this one equals a 3. So there's 3, 4. Oh, dang. 3, 4, 5. Oh, man. This card says, follow your dreams. Okay. Wait. This one equals a 3. Manifest. This one equals a 4. Follow your dreams. And this one is a 5. 3, 4, 5. Synchronicity. Can't get no more better than that. The guys and the ancestors have got this. They are on this tonight with this portal. They're big time. They're making sure we don't mess it up. They're like, nope, not this time. You're getting it right. Because we've been through the fire. So we've been working our butts off. And we know what we want. Plain and simple. You know what you want. So put that in your mind and in your heart. And be balanced, with the energy of the tree, stable, firm, compassionate and loving with the goddess, nurturing, knowing what we want, not being afraid to speak, use our throat chakra. What was the other one? Flow, allowing things to flow, not putting expectations on things, because when we do that, we do limit what the universe can bring us. We don't want to do that. Got to release the control. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. I'm excited. Bottom. 19 equals a 1. Pride. We should be proud of ourselves right now. We really should. We've come a long ways. We've done a lot of hard work. And yeah, good things. Good things. Let's see what's under that. 5. Yeah, no duh. Underneath that, change and synchronicity. Oh, man. Guess what's next? Can you guess what's next? Check it out. Happy ending. That equals a 3. Can I get no better than that? This was an amazing reading. 6/6 portal. Heck yeah. We're jumping timelines. I'm ready. Yeah, I think it already shifted yesterday because I definitely felt the change in energy yesterday. And then the epiphanies today. So, yeah. And Cody, keep taking notes. If you come across stuff that resonates with you, take notes. I don't know if you watch a lot of channelers. I'm a channel, but there's other ones out there that channel different higher consciousness. I'm trying to think what term I would use. What would be the right term? Beings, different higher consciousness beings. If you haven't checked them out yet, check out Abraham Hicks. Check out Bashar, Bashar, which is Daryl Anka. He channels Bashar. Channels. Yeah. You'll find the ones that you resonate with, Cody. When I first started watching videos, I had a whole bunch of different readers and I was all over the place, but that was my energy. I was all over the place. But now I'm narrowed down to where I have one reader that I watch more than any because I resonate with her. Yeah. Heck yeah. Synchronicity. Yeah, see, and I'm at 122 right now on my as far as my time is. But you'll find the ones that you resonate with because they'll be on your same vibration and your similar timeline. So you'll have a resonance there. And I have one main reader that I watch because she's like spot on every time. And then I have another one that occasionally I'll feel drawn to listen to her. But only every once in a while. But mainly I listen to a lot of channelers, which, like I said, is Abraham Hicks was the one I started with. And then I listened to Cryon for a while. And then now I listen to Bashar and Daryl Anka. If you get a chance, check out Daryl Anka. He has a lot of mind-blowing higher consciousness information. Yeah. Yeah. I was really like earlier I was tired after, all the emotional release that I had today. I was like, man, because then I went to yoga and I released a lot there, which has helped me tremendously. Helped me get out the energy from after the release, but I was kind of tired and, not a lot of sleep and stuff, that all adds up. But as soon as I realized it was the 6-6 portal, I was like, oh man, I've got to go live tonight. It's a little bit of depression, anxiety. Yeah, and some of that's because of the shifts in energy. As long as it, those two aren't related to any wounds or anything like that, because I dealt with that with old wounds that I had. But now that I don't have those wounds, because I've changed the definitions of those and transmuted that energy, I don't have that experience anymore. I know when we have certain shifts in energy, especially like some of the major ones, over like the last 2 years, I did experience whether it be depression or anxiety between the two. Yeah. So it's probably just the shifts in energy. So that's when flow comes in. When we're talking about flow with the air energy, just allow things to flow. Just don't feed the mind when it comes to the depression, anxiety. Don't tell yourself, oh, well, don't feed into it. Just say it's the energy shifting. It's gonna fade. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we've all had those. And once you process and work through those, then that will fade. That part of the depression and anxiety will go away. You just have to you'll get to the space to where you'll reprogram that. No worries. Yeah. And when it's the right time to take action, you'll know without a shadow of a doubt. Now, it make sure that you're not feeling pushed to act out of an old belief system, because I had that same belief system. I was raised that, if you weren't working your ass off 24/7, constantly. If you weren't doing something every second of the day, then you're being lazy. That was one of my old belief systems. But once I realized that was total horseshit, I didn't have that belief system going on anymore. Now, if you feel the pull or push to start taking action, then that is your higher self. Yeah. See, that was my family growing up, and that's probably why you resonate with me as a reader, because we have similar upbringing. We have similar vibration because we've experienced similar stuff. That's how we're drawn to certain readers, because we've had similar wounds, similar traumas, similar upbringings. Yeah, that's our soul families, our soul tribes. That's how we resonate with people, meet people. Oh yeah, mine too. Mine too, still are. Yep. Completely understand. Yep. I know. But you'll work through that. Yep. You'll work through it. No worries. You just reprogram that and realize that that is their belief system. Just because it's theirs doesn't mean it has to be yours, even though they will try to convince you that it has to be. But you are your own person. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because you're your own person. You create your reality. They don't. Even though they will try to convince you that they do. And they convinced us as kids that they did. But, we've changed that now. So we know that's not true. We know what is an illusion. So. But yeah, I feel like it was an amazing read tonight. And I really like this format that that was given to me, basically. Because, like I said, no accidents. And I just laid the cards out and rolled with it. And that is probably going to be my format for a while until a new one comes up. But I really do like the format. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and that was their belief system, that was probably passed on by their parents and then their parents' parents. It's been a cycle for so long. And then there's us, and we are the change makers. We are the change makers, the chain breakers. I need to make a t-shirt that says that, because that's us. Or as a lot of them say, the black sheep. We're the ones that step out of the so-called norm. We are the weirdos. I'd rather be the weird one, the oddball out, than be like everybody else. Awesome. Roll with it, Cody. If you go after what you're passionate about and what brings you joy, you'll never fail. You'll always be supported. You'll be supported by spirit. You'll be supported by your guides and your ancestors. And people will support you too. Because when we speak from our heart and we do what we love and what brings us joy, people are drawn to that. So yeah, go for it. Do what you do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, but ultimately, I don't know how you were as a kid, but me as a kid, I didn't rebel, but when I got older, I did because I knew they were wrong. But see, that's where I said people that we grew up around and people we meet in life are teachers and students. They're teaching us about us. So they were teaching you, even though they said you were weird, they were trying to bring out of you the true you. Right? You got to look at it in a different perspective. Everything is always happening for your highest good. Even though it seems crazy, if you can look at it from a higher perspective, that's right. Then you know that by them doing so, you're like, no, wait, that's not right. That's a lie. I'm awesome. I know what they say is not true, but it makes us go within. It makes us find our true self. So they're helping us in a crazy way, but they're helping us. So heck yeah. Get out there and speak. Do what you do. You are supported. You are loved. You are protected. You are guided. Yeah. Hey, don't worry. That's your superpower, man. I have two boys that are autism and autism spectrum. They're so freaking smart. That is their superpower. Because there's some things that they don't really want to do, but that's just because it doesn't serve their true self. Yeah. They don't they use a different side the what side is it of the brain that's more creative? Is it the right brain or left brain? Their thought processes are way different. Yeah, they're all incredibly smart. And if people just allow them to be them, geniuses. I am not even kidding. So yeah, don't let that be a hindrance. Look at it as a positive. Look at it as it's dude, it's your superpower. You just need to tap into it and make it something that serves you, not hinders you. Because a lot of people like to label it like a hindrance. It's not. It's the very opposite. Just like you said, your family put you down for being weird. You weren't being weird. You're opposite of that. You're freaking phenomenal. You just change it. It's a mirror, right? No worries. You got this, man. I can do this. You can do this. All of us have different things that we are meant to do. All of us have a different purpose, a different way of helping the collective. So I appreciate you being here, Cody. Um, this is obviously a collective read, so anyone else that comes on after, I'm sure this will resonate with whoever is drawn here. I'm glad you did too. I'm glad you did too. Um, hopefully this helped you. Hopefully this gave you some guidance. Maybe it's helped you see some things maybe you didn't see. Because we're stepping into this portal. I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah. Well, I had planned on going on tomorrow. Yeah. So I possibly will go tomorrow on live. Um, but I'm going to be on earlier from 6 p.m. Central Standard Time is what time I plan on being on live tomorrow. So that would be, 7 p.m. your time? Because I think earlier you said it was 2 something and it was only 1 something here. So, yeah, I'll be on from around 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow. That's my plan. Now, if something changes, I'll post it. I'll post it on my community tab when I'm going to go live. I'll try to post it at least 30 minutes before. Tomorrow morning, parents and little sister visiting other family members. Okay. Well, it'll be 6 p.m. So that would be 7 p.m. your time, I think. Yeah. Should be 7 p.m. in the evening your time. And then I'll probably be on for a couple hours. So if you're not back by then, you could just catch it, because I usually leave my live streams on there. So even if you don't catch it when I'm live, you'll still be able to get the information in the reading. But yeah, I like interacting though. So no worries, man. If you're meant to catch the live, you'll be here. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you're meant to be here for the next live, then you'll be on. And if I'm meant to do the live tomorrow at 6, then I'll be here. Everything happens for a reason. There are no accidents, as my son says. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here. I appreciate you very much for being here. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. It was nice talking to you too. If you have any friends or anything like that you want to send my way, if you think they'll resonate, then feel free. If you don't worry about it. I know the ones that are meant to find me will. So, anywho, everybody else that comes on afterwards, I appreciate you as well. Please hit the like button. And then anyone that would like to donate to the channel, I do have a link in the description box below if you would like to donate. I appreciate you all very much. Good talking to you too, Cody. Have a beautiful evening. And I will see you guys very soon. Good night.